Oh, hey there, folks. This is week 2 of, I'm still not sure how many weeks, of bonus episodes featuring the town where I grew up in's police departments. So this is the Milford, Ohio Police Department, specifically Officer Dennis and Officer Wilson will be back this week. I don't know how I've broken it up, so I'm just recording this intro before all of that is done. So you may just hear one of them this week, or you may hear both of them. I'm not entirely sure yet. And go back and listen to part 1 if you haven't. We hope you get kind of a sense for what this is going to be. And again, huge gratitude to them for saying yes to me recording all of this. And like I have said in episode 1 or bonus 1 of this series, this is going to be a bit disjointed, the audio, and it's not necessarily telling a narrative story top to bottom. And it's definitely not my usual questions, and it's definitely not my usual experience. The audio cuts in and out a little bit, and you'll hear that. And if you listen to the episode before this one, you'll totally be used to it. So thank you folks so much for listening. Enjoy.
My mom cares. She's like,
She does.
she's like, you're a police officer. I'm like, a cop, police officer,
Same thing.
whatever. Go.
Hi.
Say, I don't. This Officer Fannin,
Hi.
we got hired at the same time, same date.
Yeah.
He has 1 year more on me because he worked for Mount Healthy.
Okay.
So.
She's been talking a lot of shit about you.
I believe it.
Yeah, okay.
That's right. So it said.
I didn't see anything starting with that
No.
in the lot. There's a but that's a van, not a sedan.
Right. And then it says 83 Powhatan though.
Yeah.
So I guess we can go over that address.
I don't know if they just have it wrong.
How often does that happen?
Not very often. Sometimes when people
Unless
call
that's
in though.
what this LabCorp address is.
I don't think so because this.
The front door's on Powhatan though.
Maybe.
Like how Kroger's is a Main Street address, but
It's on Lila.
yeah, it's on Lila.
9 or 11, 9 or 13.
All right. I'll just drive down throughout that neighborhood and double check.
Okay.
Okay. He's dork.
He looks young.
He is.
You both-
we're actually
you
the,
both-
yeah,
you
we're the
both
same
seem young.
age.
How old are you guys?
I'll be 28 in October.
You are
He'll
a
be-
baby.
He'll be 28 in August. So we're not too far behind.
Yeah. Where'd you go to undergrad? You said after undergrad you went to the
That sign
academy.
says 71 to 83.
Do what?
The sign right there on the side on Cemetery says 71 to 83.
Oh, okay. You're clear. So I went to Mount St. Joe
Oh, you did?
in Delhi,
Sure.
and I studied criminal justice, and then I played college basketball.
Did you really? Good for you.
Yeah, so I played with Lauren Hill, which she was the female with the brain tumor.
Oh, the one
Yeah.
that did all that fundraising for in the Aww.
Yep. I played with her. That's what this tattoo is, which I will not cover up. I don't care if they tell me to or not.
Aw,
But it's her actual signature that she.
And she passed away, right?
She passed away in. Let's see. I graduated in 16. So she passed away, I think, in 15. I think it was my junior year, and then I went to senior year, and then she had passed right before
7 or
that.
11, squad is
So,
And she was playing basketball when it was discovered?
yeah, so she was playing she was playing out in Indiana, Lawrenceburg High School, and as soon as she committed to Mount St. Joe, she started having like issues, like dribble on the ball, and like stuff wasn't like, in her brain, it wasn't connecting right. There was something up, and she went and got a bunch of tests done, and they said that she had a tumor. I can't remember what it's called, where they can't operate.
Inoperable?
Inoperable.
Bless her.
Kind of like exactly what I just said.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
You have 67 things in your brain right
Right,
now.
exactly.
You're trying to hold.
so so it was inoperable, but she still had a certain amount of time to enjoy what she loved to do. So she would take certain medicine and stuff, and she was able to play with us. And then we had that Xavier at the Centos, the big game, which was crazy. It was like 10,000 fans.
Oh, that's
it was
lovely.
It was really cool. Then they still do the fundraiser every year for her, but it's not the same because she's not here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. And then right after I spent all that crazy money going to Mount St. Joe, I put myself through the police academy and paid all that money. And then here I am.
making it minimum seven
Right.
figures at your, I get it.
Yeah, I'm almost a millionaire working here, so.
But at least you get to put your life on the line every day, right? And like have people scream at you.
Yeah. I love the traffic stops where people, they throw their license at me. I'm like,
shut up.
I'm like, you can get out and pick that up, or...
Well, you do that. Good for you.
Oh, yeah.
Good for you.
Yep, either get out and pick it up, or I will cite you for littering. Because you just threw it on the ground.
Good for you.
Yep.
Good for you.
And that is a pet peeve of mine. I don't care about people smoking cigarettes, whatever, do whatever you want. But when they flick them out the window and I'm behind them, I don't.
Do you whoop whoop? Do you get them?
Yeah,
I would too. It's littering.
It is, and I'm right behind you, and you know I'm behind you because I know that you're driving like a snail, and I know you see me, and you're chain smoking, and then. I had one guy flick it, and it flew up and hit my hood of my car, and I'm like, oh, no.
No, sir.
No,
sir.
we're going to go back and pick that up together, and then you're going to get your ticket.
Oh, and you can't, because it's a ticket, littering is a ticket.
Yep, littering. And there's a lot of signs that are posted around the city of Milford that littering is a $500 fine.
Good Lord.
Not that I want to give it to you, but, if you're going to do it right in front of me.
Sorry, boo.
Yeah, I've had people empty out their, their... ashtrays. I've had them empty out like McDonald's bags,
what?
Or they just throw it out the window. I'm like,
why?
Right, just because they don't want to throw it away in the trash can.
Oh, doesn't it make you think? I mean, I just think in general, because I consider being a police officer customer service, and doesn't it just astound you when you see something that you're like, that just happened? Like, people actually do the thing that I just saw. It
amazes me. And my favorite is the no turn on red. We have down there at 5 points, all the directions, all the places say no turn on red, because it's an intersection where you might not be able to see the next car coming from a different angle. That's also illegal.
What they just did?
We're sitting right there in that gore right there. Mm-hmm.
I did not know
It's not a merge lane, that's a turn lane only. So if I wanted to turn at that where they were just blocking that at, they're in the way and they're trying to merge over, it's not a merge lane. Which I don't usually stop for that.
Yeah.
But
that's good to know that you're letting some. It's neat to see the balance.
Right.
So, gotta let some stuff go.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
know that though.
Yeah, they didn't use their turn signal. I could stop them for that, but I'm not stopping for that. It's just there's certain things, and it's just now if you're going, it's only 25 through the city of Milford. Yeah. Now if you're gonna go, 20 miles over the speed limit, almost double, or I usually get people right at 44, 45, 46 in a 25 zone, and I'm like,
what are you doing, you idiots?
Right, that, and also we have a lot of foot traffic, which a lot of pedestrians like to walk. We have the Dora Cup thing where you can now carry a drink, like an alcoholic drink, around as you walk the streets of Milford.
What?
Mm-hmm.
When did that start?
Right before COVID, the year right before that. And people love it. People love it. And I'm like, that's, it's cool, but there's certain boundaries you have to stay in. It'll say no Dora Cups past this point.
Okay.
So there is certain areas, but all the local bars, you can walk around and get a cup filled up and walk around.
Yeah, that's very much like New Orleans. I did not know that was a thing in Milford. Well, okay.
And we also now ride golf carts. So you're allowed to have golf carts in the city of Milford in a 25 zone. So
I did not know that either.
Yeah, but you can't drive a golf cart and have your Dora Cup.
I mean, come on. You're operating.
Some people have tried it before, so.
It's not a car.
Right.
That Medmark place that we passed, is that a treatment for drug addiction?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Really? It is. Yeah, we have 2 of them in the city of Milford.
Milford is a town of 6,000, y'all. I don't know the last count, but it's roughly 6,000 people. To have 2 treatment centers in a town of 6,000 is overwhelmingly sad. I'm crushing it on the comedy podcast, folks. I'm sure you all have been laughing, but at least you're learning. I don't want any emails, no complaints. You're learning. When did those open? Are they in the last 5-10 years?
Probably the last 3 years they've opened them up. But it's so funny because we're getting ready to have a medical marijuana dispensary put in the city of Milford.
Is it legal in Ohio?
It's not legal unless you have a medical marijuana card.
But medical cards are
a thing. But it doesn't mean that, say we stop this car in front of us for whatever it may be, and I smell the odor of marijuana, and they say, oh, I have a medical card. Oh, well, that's cool.
You can be high and drive, though.
Right. And another thing, too, is that medical marijuana, they only give you it comes in certain things. They don't give you like the actual like marijuana buds. They give you the oils or whatever that you can like vape with. They only give you a certain amount too. So if you have all this like a whole bag full of stuff, that's illegal. Like you can only have a certain amount, and there's a lot of stipulations on it. But it still doesn't mean that we can't search that car. So, and a lot of people don't understand that have marijuana cards or medical marijuana cards. They think that just because they're like, here's my card, that means that we don't have the authority or the right to search their vehicle or their person. The odor is just the smell, plain view, the probable cause. So probable cause would be that I could smell the odor of marijuana, raw or burnt marijuana coming from the vehicle. They have a marijuana card, but a lot of people that have those cards, not a lot of people, I can't say that, but some people that I've ran into and had contact with, they try to cover it up like, here's my medical card, but I have like a kilo in the back of the trunk full of heroin. Like that's what people do because they, they're like, oh, it's called throwdown weed is what, that's what we call it.
Meaning
people
like
call it on the street. No, well, it means what you would think. And I thought that too. And I'm like, why would you want to throw it out the window? Like, but it's actually, so we have, say we have 10 pounds of marijuana or methamphetamine in the back and we don't want it to be found. So we're like, is there anything in the car? Yeah, I got a little bit of what they call bud marijuana. Yeah. And they give me a little bag like this big. And I'm like, no, there's more. There's something else in here. I can smell it. Like, I can't smell the hard stuff, but I can smell more marijuana. So even if you hand me that and say, yeah, that's all I got, it still gives me probable cause to search now because there was something illegal in the car. So, not that I'm giving all my secrets away, but you learn this stuff on the job. On the job, but also on, what is that show that they just...
Well, Night Watch, I've started watching like an idiot, like crazy, where they'll follow police officers and they'll follow EMTs and stuff. Yeah, and it was like,
I watch that too.
I'm obsessed with that show. Will you watch it? You work in it and you'll watch that show?
I go home and I used to watch live PD all the time.
Really?
Yeah, you actually learn a lot of stuff, like different ways officers do stuff, and I enjoy that. Like even though I'm like,
you're meant to do
I'm like, job. I'm like, well, I know I just got home, but I kind of want to watch that. Or the another good show to watch is called The Rookie. Oh, it's on Hulu, and it's like he's a rookie, but he's like 40 years old, and he just started like the whole. Hence The Rookie. He just started police work, and he's super old, but they hired him anyways. And they go through all kinds of stuff, and it's based out of Los Angeles.
Oh, get out of here!
The police
they
department.
Need people. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. They're like, you're 62. Well, you got 3 years.
Right, exactly. Come on. Right. So they I'll take you down to our downtown Milford, which you probably know where it's at. But
that's okay.
Since you've been to the brewery, but we haven't been that way yet. See, I just drive in circles. Seriously, we've probably been through here a few times.
And so what? So for the call that we just like tried to address, because we didn't see the car that was reported. How often does that happen? Where someone's like, "Oh, there's this suspicious activity," and by the time you get there, it's not there anymore, or whatever.
Yeah. So that happens quite often because a lot of people. The people that call in to 911 say, hey, there's a suspicious guy sitting over here or a girl sitting over here in a car. They've been there for hours, like that call was. Some people make it a little obvious that they're calling us. Like, they'll pull in and they'll, like, drive in circles looking at their plates and, like, trying to give us all the description that they can, which is great for us, but it usually spooks people off. If they're doing something bad, it'll spook them off.
Yeah.
So we get those calls a lot, and it's called GOA, which is gone on arrival. So we arrived there and there was nobody there that that matched the description given. There was 3 or 4 other cars there, and there might have been people sitting in them, but we're not going to go harass them, ask them what they're doing. But I went to the wrong place, which is right next. Obviously, you saw it was right next door, but there was a gray sedan sitting there matching the description. The vehicle plate was not the same, but it still gave me enough. She could have said pound salt, and I was like, okay, see you, bye. But it's. I just wanted to, like I said, we checked on that person. She was sitting in her car, and we had a description similar to that car. So, but a lot of times they're not. They're gone on arrival, which is a bummer because then I just search and look and patrol the area until I come up with something, especially if it's something good. So.
Yeah. How many felonious activities do you see? I mean, I know we talked about daytime versus nighttime, but on a shift like this on a Friday, does it ramp up that there's more felonies because it's Friday and people are stupid?
Yeah, felony Friday. No. No. So we like I told you, we ride around, which we don't say the Q word around here, which is quiet.
I've heard
But
that.
we don't say that, but, which I do say that sometimes because I'm really bored and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, it's quiet.
Quiet!
Yeah. So, usually right around this time, like, between 3:30, 4:30, and then all the way till usually about midnight is calls. They're coming in. And that's either people, like I said, for day shift, it's usually auto accidents, people rush hour, people leaving work, or people coming home, getting in arguments, or it's been hot all day today. So we have a apartment that's called Oakbrook, and it is Section 8 housing.
I didn't know that.
So we can go up there too.
Yeah.
But, and, there's so many people there that live there that they're such good people. And it breaks my heart too, because they're like, I'm not bad just because I live here. Because there are some people there that they do not like us, and that's okay. But they don't like us, and they treat us bad, and they teach their kids to treat us bad. And that's the stuff that I don't like. When I go in there and there's a 4-year-old walking the parking lot with a diaper on, and he's going like this, with his gun, like a handgun, like acting like he's going to shoot me, I'm like, that is so wrong. Like, that is parenting right there.
Right there. Well, especially because you have a 4-year-old in a diaper walking around by himself, over and above the being offensive. Like,
yep, you got to be careful, like, backing up. Like, when I pull in there for a call,
come on,
you got to be careful backing up, and because there's just kids everywhere, especially it's now summertime.
Oh, that breaks my heart.
Yeah. So
what were you going to say though? It's hot up there. What do you mean?
When it starts getting super hot out, and people they start to get irritated because they've been out in the sun all day, or they've been drinking all day, or smoking all day, or whatever they may be doing.
Yeah.
But they've been around each other too long. The heat really starts getting people, like, makes them aggressive. I don't know why, but we have a lot of fights. A lot of our calls in the summertime are up at
4111,
Oakbrook.
dispatch 712 Pike Street for a female subject hit by a dog. 4111.
4011, you're fine. It's just 712 Pike Street. Which is near the PD.
Do you all get, this is true, and I work in nightlife when I'm in LA, we always say when there's going to be a full moon, it's like, here we go. Like, is that real for y'all too?
When I was on night shift, my Sergeant Kibbe, he'd always be like, well, it's a full moon out. That means all the crazy people are going to start coming out of the woodwork. I mean, and it's so true. I mean, it's not that people are crazy, but it's just like, it's chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one time there was a full moon, and it was me and another officer working night shift, because one called in sick.
4811 information, the dog was taken into the residence.
11 crew. So one officer had called in sick, and the other officer was off on vacation, so it was just two of us. And it was a full moon, and me and the officer were like, oh, this ain't good, like, something's gonna happen out of this. So we're like, let's just, like, play defense. So we're just, like, taking calls and driving around and just laying low, and we start getting our calls, and they start coming in, like, around 8 o'clock at night. I'm like, okay, this is all right. By, like, 3:30 in the morning, we were still going to calls, and we actually, both of us had to go out of the city limits to the Claremont County Jail to take two different people to jail that got into a physical domestic, so they actually couldn't ride together in the back of the car because they're just going to keep hitting each other.
Kill each other.
Yeah, so we had to drive them separately, and we had to have another officer from a different department come over and take all of our calls. I mean, it was just chaos.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, because you guys were literally going to the jail.
Literally, yeah. And sometimes it's only, like, if, that officer had to take somebody to jail and I'm here by myself, like, I'm by myself. Like, someone else will come and assist from a different department if a call comes out that I need another unit. But it could take them, 5-10 minutes to get there, and you never know. But it's, as long as, we always say it's a good day when the city of Milford didn't burn down. So when you're in charge, because I've been in charge a few times, and I'm like, it's a good day because nothing bad happened, and there's, everybody's good, and city of Milford is not in flames, so we're good.
Now you're wearing, I just noticed an arm guard on your left-hand side, and I can see a little peek of a tattoo. Is that because of you have a sleeve?
Yep. So, which if my chief ever listens to this.
Oh shit! Never mind. Let's skip it.
No, I know. I want to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
So, my tattoos they're nothing vulgar. They're literally flowers, a badge, and like praying hands up here at the top. So it's nothing like, you know, I don't know, whatever those like skeleton looking dudes are with like blood and you know, daggers, and it's nothing crazy. So I don't know what our chief, I don't know what the issue is exactly, but I know he thinks it's more professional not to show them. But I think it's a good conversation starter. So when somebody doesn't want to talk to us or doesn't like us, then it'd be like, oh, hey, what kind of tattoos you got? Look at mine, I got some too. And then like talk about it. Or where do you go get your tattoos done at? And then you just spark a conversation. It's a conversation starter, and it kind of makes us likable and
approachable
and you know, that I'm no different than you, you're no different than me.
Like, it's an equalizer.
Oh, that cop's got tattoos. Oh, that's cool. Like, oh, I didn't think, you know, because everybody thinks cops are just like, you know,
robots.
Yeah, like we're not humans. So like to see tattoos on a cop or a beard on a cop, they're like, oh, like that's kind of cool.
And so are you guys not allowed, well, I'm assuming you can't grow a beard, but are the male officers, are they allowed to have they're not allowed to have one?
Nope, they have to be clean shaved. We do the no shave November for, I think it's the autistic thing in November.
Cool.
So we do that. October we do the breast cancer, the pink stuff.
So do men grow boobs during that time? The men have to wear a bra?
Most of our men do have boobs. No, so they were allowed to grow it for some reason in October too, which made us interesting. But the females were allowed to paint our fingernails, and we were allowed to put some hair color in our hair. And I'm like, no and no. So thanks, but no thanks.
I'm all set.
Right. So I was actually going to order a beard from Amazon.
You absolutely should. You absolutely
So this November, I'll be on night shift anyway, so I'm literally going to wear a beard into the PD.
Yes.
And be like, I'm ready for my close-up. Like, you said we could grow beards.
I did.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Exactly. So, I don't know, that'd be...
Cool. Yeah, I'm into it. And why don't you want to paint your nails?
I'm not into painting my nails.
Yeah. You have a farm. That'll do it.
You know, if my hands get dirty and whatever, I don't care about that stuff. Like I used to, when I was younger, I used to do the whole fake nail, short nails, and the all that, you know, cute stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, nah, I ain't got time.
Too busy.
I ain't got time.
Aw, all these people have been waving. That's really sweet. An elderly gentleman just waved at us as he's sweeping the sidewalk. What a good citizen. Y'all give out those, y'all have stickers that say good citizen or any of that? I know here you've mentioned before the Milford Police Junior Officer, but do you have any, like, as an adult, I want a good citizen sticker? You got that?
No, we don't, but we could probably get some of those.
Okay, good. Oh, shit. Oh, we're rolling up on
They have our fire department on scene.
Now, what was this call? I forget. This is a dog bite?
Okay.
So I'll stay in the car.
See if I can assist. Usually dog bites, we have to fill out a piece of paper. And
oh, you do?
Yeah, because the dog has to be quarantined, and then the shelter, the
SPCA or whatever?
SPCA has to be notified so they can come out and see if the dog's bit anybody before. So,
shit.
Okay.
We said the Q word, and now here we go.
Yep,
dog. Yep. Sorry, everybody. Although I'm not sorry because now you get to hear these exciting calls. But this poor little kid is crying. Bless. And who got bit? It might be her dog or his dog. I can't see it. It might be their dog. And but they're in tears. Oh, that's really sad. And we're looking at someone's got the dog on a leash, and we are looking at people looking very concerned standing around. It's 3 gentlemen and 1 woman, and they are holding back the dog, and but that poor little kid. So Officer Dennis is chatting with the little kid and now chatting with an older kid. Everybody looks like a child to me right now. And apparently she's walking up to the residence. Oh, now everybody's crying. See, this is the part of being a police officer I couldn't deal with, is all the tears, because I would also start crying. I'd probably become hardened and not eventually cry, but this would be really tough. And when it's someone's pet, it's deeply emotional, and that is sad. All right, I'm going to stop recording for just a bit. All right, since I stopped recording, this woman came up to the car. I am obviously in a police vehicle, And she wanted to tell me her story and ask me what she could do with the dog. We're at a dog bite situation. And I was like, oh, sorry, I'm not with the Milford Police Department. I'm just in the car. And she, of course, looked at me a bit confused. And I was like, you can go talk to Officer Dennis. You know, she's going to be who you want to talk to. And the woman just was like, okay, and just handed the dog off to someone else that's standing out here. I totally get it. But I am being stared at by a bunch of civilians who are like, why aren't you doing anything? And I'm like, sorry, I can't. But Officer Dennis and her partner, well, not partner, the other officer that's on right now, they're getting poured on because it's raining. And the logistics of this are less than ideal. I feel sorry for them because they had to get statements from, I guess, the people whose dog it is. And now a woman went away in an ambulance. And the woman that came up to talk to me was like, hey, the woman in the ambulance, this is her dog. We don't know what to do. So I guess the dog bite was legitimately not ideal. We'll get that update from Officer Dennis. But the kids that were crying are back at the house where Officer Dennis just was getting a statement from them. And this poor dog is so sweet and friendly and like trying to jump and say hi and be loved on. And Officer Dennis is trying to get some statements from the people at this business. So this must have happened right outside of this business in Milford. And I think logistically, if I were a cop, I would just go crazy with you're getting lied to. You're trying to get multiple statements from different people. And you're trying to figure out what the next steps are that are the safest for everybody involved. And she has 612 things going on in her brain at one time. She didn't say that. I'm just observing it. It's like she was breaking down the jurisdiction of where we are and what we're doing. And, this call means this. And this, this is what we say when this happens and blah, blah. And she's currently getting rained on. It's a hard job, y'all. It is the ultimate customer service. And also, like, for point of comparison, yeah, I have to deal with people being idiots or whatever in customer service the way that I do it, but I don't have to deal with people lying to me necessarily. I mean, they do, but things don't, like, my job doesn't depend on their lying to me. I just get to be sort of objective or lying about me. I mean, I guess my job kind of depends on that, but this is a lot of work. And now, can you hear that rain? It is pouring when she's outside trying to take statements. No thanks. God bless.
So the dog bite was actually pretty significant. You could see all of her tendons in her arm.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Yeah, so we have to do a animal dog bite form, so the owner is extremely upset because this is the second dog bite, so he's afraid that we're going to take his dog, which we don't take his dog. The animal control takes his dog. So what we'll do is we'll fill this out, and then we'll fax over the report and this copy, and then animal control will come out and assess it and see if they're going to take it or not.
He should be concerned about getting sued by the people that are getting bit, though. I mean, like, not that you want a dog to go down, but like if your dog can't be controlled around people.
Right. Yeah. And because this form also tells you have to like quarantine him. You're hereby ordered to keep the animal quarantined for a period of time not less than 10 days after the bite. So the dog cannot like go anywhere. It has to go. Quarantine means that the animal has to be penned, chained, or restricted in such manner as to prevent contact with other persons or animals, which he had it chained up to their front porch out here, and he broke his collar. Ooh. And he came after the lady and that little small dog. I don't know if you saw the little small dog. That's the owners that got bit, which now we have to take that dog to our annex, which is over on Lila. We have a dog pen over there, like an inside-outside thing, until either the owner can come pick it up or whoever. But the girl that got bit, she wouldn't tell me any of her info.
Why?
So I don't know who she is. Now, I don't know if it's because she's in shock because she was bit. She was kind of acting like she was going in and out of consciousness, but like kind of being over dramatic about it. I need water. Well, you can't have water because you're going to go surgery as soon as you get to Bethesda.
Oh, it's like serious.
Oh yeah, it's deep. Yeah.
Am I going to get sick? Probably. Here we go.
I hope you had a light lunch.
I just ate like a granola bar because I was like, I'm tired. Holy shit!
Yeah, so it's
tendons are out.
Yeah.
Holy
It's bad. That's the
shit.
worst. That's a bad one that I've seen before.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she's trying to protect her dog or what, but that dog got a good chunk out of her. And I don't know where. I was looking for the skin,
I was
but
just about to say, where is the chunk?
I don't know. I said nobody saw it happen, and I was trying to get info from the girl on the squad, and she wasn't
So
answering me.
wouldn't give you her name, wouldn't give you, like...
She wouldn't say anything. I need water. That's all she said. So that either first thing comes to my mind, because I'm very like proactive, is she got warrants or something, and she doesn't want to be involved because she sees a police officer. Because police officers usually don't come to squad runs, which this is obviously different.
Yeah.
But that's the first thing that people do is, oh, I ain't giving you my info, and so it's like it's for the report, and I don't care if you have warrants right now because you're going to the hospital to have surgery.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's where we're at right now because I don't have any, but I do have mom's information.
Oh, so was she a young girl?
I'd probably say 40s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But her mom was with her?
No, mom, she said call my mom so she can take my dog to these people that were standing out here. So what I'll do is I'll try to call her mom
I'd be like, yo.
and see if she wants to take the dog and if I can get some of her daughter's information.
So you would be allowed to take information from a resource like a parent?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can call anybody and say, hey, do you know this person? And they're like, oh, yeah. And I'll be like, oh, what's her date of birth? And they'll tell me. You don't have to tell me,
but you can.
So,
all right, I'll turn this off while you're recording. Or
that's
while you're
fine.
on the phone.
Past 4:30, it'll take them to the sergeant on duty. The city phone will ring, and then he'll say, "Hey, Susan called you."
Has he already been briefed on what happened, or is it
No.
just on the computer?
So my thing is that obviously he heard the call come out because we all had the same radios on us, but sergeants are different. Some sergeants are very active, and not that the one I have now is not, but he is more of a laid-back sergeant, so he lets you do your own thing. You don't have to really, tell him what's going on unless it's something serious. Mm-hmm. And he does a lot of paperwork at the PD. My sergeant on night shift, he would have been here on this call with me to be like, what's going on? Like, what can I help you with? Not to take over the call, but just to see if I needed anything.
Sure.
So there's just different ones. There's ones that are getting ready to retire, and then there's ones that are still active and really. I don't even know as far as. So this is just our alert system. This is like where we do our reports at.
Okay.
What'd she say her name was? And the bad thing is this person could not even live in the city of Milford.
Oh, so if they don't, what does that mean? That someone else has to take over?
Well, okay, so she's in the city of Milford.
Okay, I'm trying to think of.
So
So you're pulling up mom's information right now?
yeah, this is mom. I'm trying to see if we can go try to make or have Officer Freeman make contact with mom if she's at home.
It's such a hard. So I stopped recording because we were looking up computer information. Officer Dennis had to jump out of the car again and go back to the homeowner's house with the dog that did the bite because the woman that got bit refused to give her information. And we looked at the picture of the bite and it was disgusting. I don't know how much of that I recorded. I might have to edit this out. But anyway, it was a disgusting photo and she refused to tell Officer Dennis any information, which usually I was just informed means there's probably warrants or something out about her. And so she thought that it could be also that she was just going in and out of consciousness because that bite was disgusting. But it also usually means that the person that is the victim in this case has something going on. And it's just having to hold all of this in your brain at any given time. I cannot imagine. And she said, yeah, this is every day. And whilst she was talking to me, she was like doing all of this work on a computer and like answering good calls and like being on the radio and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, the job's not boring, even though this is considered, she was like, sorry, this is a boring call. And it's like, I guess, but also I'm watching what she has to deal with and go through. And like, I'm exhausted. I've been doing this for only 2 hours and I am literally wiped out. I don't have it, y'all. I don't have it. I mean, I thought, you know, like I mentioned, I watch Night Watch. I thought this would be fun and cool, like as a job. Not that I could do it. I've said repeatedly I couldn't. But I am so drained. I don't know how they do this for 8 hours, much less 12s. I mean, she said, yeah, they get a handful of days off. But like, she is underselling how fucking taxing this job is. And we're in Milford, Ohio, y'all, 6,000 people, grand total. Like, we've just been doing laps and stuff. But you're on this like weird alert. And again, I'm not even working. I'm here recording like a real jackass. And I'm so tired. It's the having to have your head on a swivel, literally. And also taking in, like you heard her say, okay, well, what that dude did was just illegal, but I'm not going to ruin his day to day. But like, and she was like, that's a, you know, littering $500 fine. Like, all, you have to hold all of the rules in your head, because a lot of the stuff isn't super obvious. Like the thing she pointed out, the traffic thing, I thought was totally legal, like being in that middle lane trying to get over. And she was like, no, you're blocking it. And I'm like, that shit's illegal too. But that's the kind of stuff that she's holding in her brain at any given moment. And like, straight up, I just had a granola bar that it's like, this is the equivalent of a cup of espresso. It did nothing. It did not. I could curl up in this seat and take a nap right now, except that my heart is sort of racing because she's still taking statements. And like right now, the optics I have on her, don't I sound like a cop? But she's standing on the front porch getting statements. Her back is completely exposed because she's looking at the dog owner and taking a statement. She's so vulnerable right now. Someone could jump out of that house and be strapped and do something to her. And that's the kind of stuff that I just take for granted, that I don't think about on a day-to-day basis. And I am, not that I think it's going to happen, but I would be so scared of just that. And she's trying to focus on getting information from the dog owner. It's too much, y'all. It's time for me to take a nap. Your boy was trying to get in touch with you, I think.
Oh,
are you 11? It was like something to 11 a bunch of times.
Let's see, my sergeant called me, so let's see what he...
Yeah.
Yes. Alright, if you would, hand me 2 stickers for the little girls.
Oh, just 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess how many ever? 4 is fine.
Okay. 4. I'll give you 4. Hold on. You gotta be smarter than the stickers. Oh, well, shit. Now you get 5. So sorry.
That's alright. They can share it.
Okay. She just gave them these little stickers that say Milford Police Junior Officer. This is that Good Samaritan or Goodwill stuff that she was talking about that she likes more than almost anything else. And you should see the smile on this kid's face. She's like, she was one of the ones that was crying before, and she is like squealing. She's so excited, and she's literally putting it on her body right now. So cute. Now, Officer Dennis's phone is ringing.
Okay.
I think your phone rang, but I'm not sure. It went there. Brr. I don't know if that might have been this thing. Is this the chick?
I know I talk so much that then you said the Q word and...
Yeah, there it went. Thank you, though. This was super great. Thank you for doing all of this.
I told you I talk a lot, so...
I'm into it. You gave me a lot of material. I put it on Instagram that we were doing this, and people are like, oh my God, that's so cool.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
So do you have, like, a certain, like, card or something like... I hear myself talking.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'll give you all the info. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I will edit it down, and it will... I'm going to actually... I want to leave it kind of at the length that it is, though, because it's been... I mean, there isn't much I want to get rid of, because I want people to hear...
Yeah, we're just jumping around different...
Yeah.
I like to randomly tell stories when they come to my mind, so...
That's...
Like, if you're like, tell me something about, how do you answer this question? And I'm like, I got a story for that, too. So.
Okay, well, let's do one more, then.
All right.
What is the best call you've ever been on?
Oh, jeez.
Also, is there going to be a place to pee at the annex wherever we're going?
Yes.
45 for road for wires down.
It's kind of hard to narrow it down because there's we've talked about before, just giving those stickers to those little girls. I mean, that's cool. Obviously, this call was a bad call because, his dog bit somebody. The family dog bit somebody that is possibly going to be put down. But I still try to end it on a good note. Here's some stickers. If you guys need anything, give us a call, because you don't want them to feel like they're in trouble, even though they might be for. I could probably end up citing them for the leash law, because we have a leash law in the city of Milford. But it's not really his fault. His dog broke the chain on the leash, but he should still be attending to that dog if it's outside, especially if it's aggressive. So, but ending it on a good note like that is something that I like to do. But as far as one of my best calls, I mean, there's probably so many that I don't really know. I mean, even some dangerous ones that I think are fun. I like that kind of stuff, but I mean, really.
Do you have an example of the best way to, because you've said okay, if cops tell you to just go sit over there and just wait, it's obviously best to be compliant, but is there an example of a best interaction, or in your head what would be an ideal interaction for a not great situation?
As far as somebody complying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you asking me to tell you a story?
Yeah. Read between the lines.
Making sure. It's almost been 12 hours since I've been working, so I'm just, bringing it all back. Yeah. So there's a time that comes to my mind, but he didn't listen to me. So
tell me about that one.
Well, it was me and another officer. It was me and the officer that's working with me now. We were by ourselves, just two officers that night. We were on night shift, and he was out with people with felony warrants at one of our Holiday Inn, or our hotels. And I got his female half in my car because I pat her down and searched her, put her in my car, and we get a call for a man with a gun on Main Street. And I'm like, I got to get her out of my car. You take, you're gonna have to put her in your car, and I'm gonna have to go alone because he has all these people with felony warrants. Now, I've talked to a couple other officers, and some officers would do it differently. If that was me on the opposite end and I had people with felony warrants, even though they have felony warrants, the priority call goes from, you have felony warrants, and yeah, that can be dangerous, but you're just going to be going to jail tonight, to, I have an officer going to a guy with a gun that might be shot and killed because they're alone. To me, I would have released those people with felony warrants and followed my partner there. And that's just me, and I'm not saying Fannon's a bad officer for that, but in my mind, that's what I think that I would have done. Sure. And he might have done it differently after the fact, but it's just, thank God the guy didn't have a gun. But when I got there, I was by myself, and the description matched him perfectly. He was standing on the street corner, and I told him, because we knew who he was. He's a frequent flyer around here. And I said, get your hands out of your pockets. He wouldn't. And I'm like, put your hands on top of your head, turn around, face away from me. And I didn't have any gun out, no taser, no nothing. But I'm giving him, lawful orders. Get on the ground, get on the ground. I ain't getting on the ground. It's wet. I'm not laying on the ground. Just not listening to any of my orders. Anything that I instructed him to do. And that, I don't know, that was just a kind of scary moment, because I'm like, he's not listening to anything I say. Now what am I going to do? So then he starts to walk towards me and approach me. And I said, I'm like, stop. I'm like, do not approach me. Do not come up on me. Still trying to give him orders. And he stops. But I'm like, turn around and face away from me. If you don't want to get on the ground, turn around and face away from me. Because I'm not going to just come up to him face to face and put him in handcuffs.
Hello.
I'm like, turn around and face away from me, so at least that I'm not, this lady's supposed to meet me here, I think. But that he cannot see what I'm about to do, which means I'm going to put him in handcuffs. Sure. And he wouldn't turn away from and face away from me. He's like, I ain't putting my back to you. And I'm like, here we go. We're about to go hands on, and I'm by myself. And I hear cars coming from Terrace Park and from Indian Hill, but they're still, a little bit ways out. And I finally because I knew who he was, but you can't take that for granted, because just because you know somebody doesn't mean that they're not going to do something to you.
That's right.
but I just, went up to him and I just pretty much put the cuffs on him before he could even because he had him on top of his head at least, so I at least pulled one down and then pulled the other one down and cuffed him real fast. And I took him to jail that night for aggravated menacing because when he told the complainant, the victim, he said, the victim was a off-duty police officer. He just got off a shift and he still had his uniform on, which he never came down to help me. But anyways, so he's like, I guess when he got out of his car, the guy that I took to jail, he said, something about police officer or whatever. He doesn't like cops, and he's like, well, I'm a cop too. You want me to show you? And he reaches in his waistband, and the guy was like, he's lucky I didn't shoot him and kill him.
100%.
Yeah, I'm like, so.
Jesus.
So he said that he didn't see a gun, but he was acting like he was reaching for a gun, which alerted the guy to be like, 911. There's a guy with a gun. He's got to have a gun. I don't know. He might not. But it didn't come out that way. It came out a man with a gun. So that's why I treated that person like that. Get on the ground, giving him commands, and he's not listening. So I charge him with obstruction. I charge him with obstructing official business because he's not listening to me. He's obstructing me from doing my duty. So,
can I jump out and pee real quick? Can I go, or do I have to wait?
Yes, I forgot all about that.
No, that's okay. It's not your fault.
I'll just back in back here.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
That's going to do it for us for part 2 of the Milford Police Department ride along. We will see you next week for part 3.